Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spiritual Successor, a comedy video game design podcast where we take your lovely, disgusting, rancid, awful, capitalist hellhole ideas and turn them into the next AAA video game titles. I am one of your hosts, Blake Rea.
And I'm your other host, AJ Hart.
AJ, I have a little story I want to share with you, and I don't want it to go on too long because you and I got to do a little bit of a short episode this week because, goddamn, I have a life and you have a life, and we both gotta both get that paper. You know what I mean? Both gotta get that
paper. Rise and grind every day. You know, I'm on Twitter all the time, tweeting at people that are like, I'm so grinding that I have a tweet deck thing that just says nap. And anytime somebody makes a tweet like, oh, I want to take a nap, I hit them back with a rise and grind, motherfucker, wake up, go get that paper.
I thought you would have been one of those guys where what was that meme? It was like the humble brag thing. It was like a Twitter thing where it was like some gym bro being like, I can't remember it for the life of me, but he made this one Twitter post saying like, I'm always working, always at it, always strong, always this, always that, and it just came off as so braggadocious. And then everybody just like fucking just posted like, hey, that's cool, look at this other thing. And it was just so fucking funny. So okay, so the thing
your story?
The thing I wanted to share with you, because I think it's very much spiritual successor energy, and I think our audience would get a good kick out of it. So I have a little statue on my desk now of Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy taking a big old poopy. Just a poop.
Interesting. You said statue?
It's a statue. It is a little clay statue of Groot with his knees bent over and his cheeks above the ground, and there's a big old, like, when you think of like the poop emoji, that's what is underneath his
He's just
bun.
leaving a little Groot there on your desk.
He's just leaving a little Groot there. So now let me explain why I have this statue.
No, I don't think you do. Hold on. I just
really?
need to process.
You think vague would be funnier?
I think it's vague if it's better, because what I think you don't understand you have there, Blake, is you have a totem of power.
A totem of power?
And if you were to take this little Groot statue with you to a work desk, do you know what sort of energy you would be signaling to a coworker if they saw your poopy Groot statue?
At least a power level 2, you know?
At least a power level 2. Sure. Yeah. Hey, what is the message though? Like, is this the new version of Calvin peeing on things? Just in a statue and not let's be real.
If I were to walk into the office, like I'd say I'm in a bullpen, like there's cubicles everywhere. I were to walk to somebody's cubicle and I saw Groot taking a poopy, I'd think, that's not the only statue they have. They probably have more other Guardians of the Galaxy or Marvel characters.
They have other Guardians of the Galaxy characters dropping poopies. Yeah. Oh, this is my Drax dropping a poopy statue. Do you like it?
Imagine that conversation though with your superior, because like you actually have to in some places. Some places are more lenient than others, but like some of the cubicle job stuff I've worked, they actually have a limitation on what flair you're allowed to have at your cubicle. So imagine the person that has the poopy Groot is like initially wanted more poopy superheroes, but they had to haggle their way to just one, you know?
Boss, if I can't have it's fine. You can take the Gamora, you can take the Peter Quill, you can even take Rocket, but I'm bringing Poopy Groot with me to work.
Groot the Spoot.
Poopy Groot or I walk.
Poopy Groot or the walk. The short backstory of it is my brother Jordan went to Europe on like a 2-month trip with his girlfriend. And they went to this little town where they have this tradition called the poop log. And I guess it's during the holidays that you toss...
The what log?
Yes, the poop log. Yeah, stick with me, AJ. Keep up. It's a log that has like a little funny face. There's decorations on it. And what you do is it's like a cylinder of wood that has a smaller piece of wood inside of it. So the way it's designed is when you put it in the fireplace or you burn it or whatever, the outer log will eventually shed away, and then the smaller log will come out like excrement.
Children across Spain's Catalan region are gathering in their homes for the traditional whacking of the festive shit log. Yeah, this is real.
So he went to the town where like that's a thing. And he was there's like this open market where there's just like a bunch of people selling these things because they're just like super popular. It's like, oh hey, here's this little statue of Groot taking a poopy. So he bought me Groot with taking a poop, and he bought my other brother SpongeBob taking a big yellow dump. So it's just like
Hold on.
Yeah.
First of all, SpongeBob is a wild pull because that's not a log, bud. Second of all, hold on. Kids beat the hell out of the shit log. They like kick his ass.
They kick his ass? What? Is it? Are you kicking them so hard they poop? Is that the whole? Wait a second. Is that the whole message here? Look. I don't understand it. What is the message? Because you think of like Krampus
each
or
year,
whatever.
the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, families bring out the happy log. Every night until December 24th, children are tasked with feeding the log by offering him nuts, dried fruit, and water. On Christmas Eve, it is time for the little shit log to shine. Children gather around the red-hatted branch and beat him with sticks while singing the traditional Tío de Nadal song.
What is that supposed to represent? Like,
Is this hazing? Is this just the childlike joy of hazing somebody?
Hazing somebody, the childlike joy? Bro, I have been hazed. I have never felt childlike joy in that process.
Well, it's not fun for the shit log, but it's fun for everybody else.
All right, well, you know what? Hey, I think that's a good note to leave it on. If you're interested, go research the poopy log.
If you're interested, go find a log, feed it, and then beat it up every year. That sounds radical. I'm doing Christmas wrong. I have a big log in my home, but that's just because it's a big dead tree as some sort of effigy.
Wait, is it petrified wood though? Petrified wood's cool as heck. Like that.
No, I go out into the woods. I hunt my own tree. I chop it down. I bring it into my home. It's dead.
Do you track it?
And I resuscitate it with water and Sprite to keep it green and luscious. And then I throw it in my backyard.
Wait. Did you say Sprite? Yeah. Do you give your Christmas tree Sprite?
You gotta give it Sprite. That's how it knows that you love it still.
Okay, are you fucking with me, or is that like a legit thing?
That's a thing, bud.
That's a thing?
Mm-hmm.
No. What is the science? I've seen what soda does to chicken bones. You can't. What do you think it's doing to that tree?
I'm looking up Sprite Christmas tree right now.
Yeah, I bet you it's. There's no found of science.
I'm just gonna find ads for the Sprite cranberry thing, aren't I? Yeah, that's Sprite cranberry. Hold on.
All right. You're gonna. Okay. Enough. Enough dilly dallying. Let's get into the episode. And do you want to do a submission, or do you want me to do a submission?
I'll do a submission. I'll start it off this time. You opened the episode. Seems only fair.
All right, hit me with it.
This is from a couple different people. Joe Boosted Langlois at the Giuseppe suggests dark and gritty reboot of Paper Mario, which is very good. I have another submission from Blue Bowser Stan account that submitted Super Mario RPG, but using the other meaning of RPG. Might I propose to you Super Paper Mario, Rocket Propelled Grenade.
Rocket propelled grenade. Is this just a game of nades, but it's all Paper Mario? Is that what it is?
Ooh, I like that. I like the idea of a gritty Paper Mario because, as we know, Paper Mario is the only Mario game where Mario gets to have a personality. I think he talks in those games. Shit, does he not talk? I haven't played a Paper Mario game. They look very cute.
I've only ever played Origami King.
Did Mario talk in that one?
You know, it's so weird. I spent like maybe 40 hours playing that game or 50 hours playing that game. I could not tell you if he talked or not. Well, because it's like and I'm gonna take that as a sign that he didn't, because that would imply that everybody else is filling the time, or it's like
maybe he did that thing where people ask him questions and then like you don't say anything and then like little Bob-omb's like, yeah, Mario, that's a great point you made. I'm so happy that you reminded me that I do have a wife and kid.
I think that's how it happens, because you do have like companions next to you, and then I think it's like, yeah, because I remember like Mario like putting his like finger and thumb to his chin, and he's thinking, and like somebody will respond after that, or he talks like Komi-san. Like Mario is just how Komi-san communicates. It's just big eyes, big expressions, all that great stuff. So you want to do a gritty
to do a gritty Mario story where instead of like, how you have a little Koopa boy that's like, I can't talk to girls, or you have a little Bob-omb that's like, I wish I could explode and die. What if it was all characters that wanted to explode and die, like the little Bob-omb guy?
Hold on, you're onto something here. Okay. Let's take from an unlikely inspiration thing. Do you remember Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yes. Of course I remember who. Well, I don't remember who specifically framed Roger Rabbit, but I remember the film Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Do you remember his cartoon gun where every bullet had a personality and like every...
Yeah.
Like, so what if we did... Because for me, gritty implies like you gotta deal with like some heavy ass themes, right?
Yeah,
so
gritty in video game language just means that there's like a quick time event where you choke a man to death,
or you're the father style character,
or you're a grizzled fatherly figure of a small child. Yeah. Okay, so you're proposing that Mario is the grizzled father figure of 6 RPG bullets, and as you go through the game, there will come moments where you have to decide to sacrifice one of your beautiful little RPG babies.
So here's the thing. I'm wondering if we should maybe add a little bit of variety to it, to where it's not just bullets. Because
give Mario other guns. Yeah, a rocket launcher, a bullet, an SMG. The bullet's just a weapon on its own. He holds it in his fist, and it's super cool.
Well, I'm thinking is like, okay, you have a gun that has like 6 bullet bills in it, and like you get to go through this whole game, and every time you have to pick when you're going to sacrifice something. Or you have a bandolier belt of a bunch of little bob-ombs that are grenades or whatever, and each one of them has their own little personality that you can talk to and hang out with. And so, God, this is reminding me of some, like, I don't know. So
okay, I love this. A Mario with a bullet bill rocket launcher, a bandolier of bob-ombs. What other weapons can we think of from the Mario world that we can give him?
I think he should. Okay, if we want to get real gritty, this is okay. Stick with me here. So
and then he has a Glock with 2 eyeballs on it.
No. I'm gonna give you one that's gonna be really terrifying. So there's that theory that the Mushroom Kingdom is like a post-apocalyptic world. What if we leaned into that this is after Bowser conquered the world, and like through nukes or whatever. This is like
Bowser
a Mad
did
Max.
He was finally able to convince Peach that she didn't need Mario, and the two of them fell in love, and it was very beautiful, and then the two of them took over the entire world.
So this is like Mario Mad Max style going through the wastes of the Mushroom Kingdom. So let's talk about some other things. Like what's the big thing what's the most iconic thing of Mario? He eats mushrooms. Well, mushrooms kind of go extinct in an apocalypse, right? So
no power-ups now.
So what does he have on his belt? What also looks like mushrooms? I'm not saying it's Toad, but it is Toad. He just has a whole little vial. He eats Toads. He eats
little Toad heads.
He eats little Toad heads to gain health back. So it's this, and that's, dude, another gritty theme.
Cannibalistic Mario. Yes, I love this.
Wait, is it cannibalism? Because he's not technically a Toad.
Well, he's not human either.
No, he's a human.
No, you played Mario Odyssey. You've seen that motherfucker run around the streets of New York.
He's just a short man. Oh, then what would you consider? Oh man, I'm forgetting her name. She was so pretty. It was the brunette lady that was Pamela. Pamela? I don't
know her name. I didn't play Mario Odyssey. She's human, I think. Maybe.
But she's the same species as Mario. Mario's just.
Why do you think that?
Because,
why do you think she's the same species as Mario?
Because they interact. I don't.
And Mario interacts with Cappy the whole time. I'm not saying that Mario's a ghost.
He's just a short guy. That's all it is. Actually, he might be. Actually, I think they might have said he's an alien. I don't know. I
I thought
anymore.
there was like a Nintendo video where they said Mario isn't human.
Okay, you know what? We're going to get down to the bottom of this because this is really important. Is Mario human?
Mario is not human, according to Mashable.com. With the upcoming release of Super Mario Odyssey, a debate has grown over whether or not he's human. Nintendo insists he is human, despite the fact that he... Okay, never mind. Word of God, if Nintendo said he's human, he's human.
Hey, here you go. Motokura confirmed that Mario was human, and when asked why the character looks so different from the other humans Nintendo had designed for Super Mario Odyssey, Motokura had one of the best answers yet. In the world, there are many different types of people, you know, Motokura said. Fuck you for generalizing, AJ, but humans don't have to look a certain way.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so what is...
Mr. Mario, I'm sorry.
So, Mr. Mario, human Mario, he doesn't have nipples in our game, though.
Mr. Human, normal guy Mario. I'm sorry for othering you. That was wrong of me.
So, okay, so what is our... So, Paper Mario, the whole idea
Paper Mario,
was...
bandolier of bob-ombs, a bunch of rocket launchers that you can shoot. Over the course of the game, you will come to moments where you have to sacrifice one of your beloved darlings.
Okay.
And by sacrifice, I mean use them to murder somebody.
Okay, now, how about
the
this?
children, they are all kid-coded, by the way. None of them want to die.
Oh, no.
And that's the way it goes around here.
Oh, no. But here's the option, though. Here's the option. In the the Paper Mario games, they have two things for you. They have like at least in Origami King, this is how it worked. You had a mallet, and you had your shoes. So it's like you can swap out weapons so that our different weapons idea falls in line with that. You can, of course, get upgrades to your shoes and mallets, but those have like a limited health or a limited use. But even if you run out of that, you still have your base shoes and your base mallet. We give Mario a base mallet that never runs out of energy, so he always has the option to use that over the bombs and the gun. But the bombs and the gun are always... like
they're always there. They're always way more powerful, and like if you fail a fight, you will be forced to use one. But you could unreasonably get through the whole game with all of your little darlings intact.
That's what I'm thinking. What if you did some sort of like a Undertale sort of thing where it's like you could do two routes to this game. There's the sacrifice route where you do sacrifice all of your friends.
There's the 6-hour route where you sacrifice all of your friends along the way to go find Bowser and kick his ass. And then there's the 112-hour long route where every boss fight is an ordeal with multiple sittings.
Okay.
And in that route, you're able to get to the end of the game without using any of your weapons. And then there's a secret third route where you get to the final boss with all of your weapons, and then you just unload on Bowser. One after the other.
Dude. It just makes like the Bowser fight way easier. Ooh, okay, I'm into that.
It's also very heart-wrenching because now all of the children are saying how much they love you.
Oh my God, yeah, like because the longer you spend with them, the more attached you're going to be. There's going to be more scenes of like them being
by the end of the game, you might actually know their names.
Oh, Bullet Bob, I'll miss you. All right, this one comes to us from Alley Cat at Millennium Hoo-Ha. Chocolate Monster Factory. Create chocolate abominations that will delight and frighten the world. AJ, I want to make a chocolate fighting game, but here's the little snag. Here's the little snag about it. You need to, a la I Am Bread, during this fight, your health is a direct representation of how edible you are at the end of the fight. So you not only need to kick the shit out of the other person you are fighting, you need to make sure you do not get hit by them or influenced by environmental hazards to where you aren't edible at the end of the fight. Because guess what? You can go through this whole tournament. You can kick so many buns. You can be the best dang chocolate person fighter. But if you are covered,
but if you're not tasty at the end,
what's it
matter?
Yeah, you don't get to get any of those points. So, and I'm wondering if like, okay, can we do something here that motivates like a seasonal style content where it's like you can only get points in the season by successfully being eaten at the end of a chocolate fighting tournament.
A seasonal fighting game that has points based on how much life and how clean you are at the end of each fight.
Yes, and I'm wondering if, like, okay, if we're talking about seasonal content, is there going to be like legendary decorations or something like that, where it's like, oh, you start the game out, you can basically be like a gingerbread but made of chocolate, and you have like a couple buttons and a smiley face. That's all you got. But as you progress through the season, you can get more things to decorate your character at the beginning of the game. So like now,
you know what I love about this though is there is a part on the other side where you're so decorated that when you start the fight, you are unedible. This is a call-out post for fondant, the world's most disgusting decoration in the world. And people are like, it's edible. And it's like, no, it's not. You're right, it is edible, but nobody wants to eat fondant. It sucks shit.
So are you implying that during your creation phase, you have to put something on you that you do need to be hit? They need to hit it off of you.
Yeah. So, there we go. Yes. Okay,
so you have a little fondant
we lean into
hat.
like that Dragon Ball Z. Your clothes get ripped off if you fight too much vibe.
Fuck yeah! But it's just like
it's shit like
the
the wrapper of the candy bar. It's shit like the fondant.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, I'm in love with this. I'm in love with this because one, I love the idea that like you're loading up into this tournament and the loading screen is your decoration thing. You have like, hey, you have a minute to decorate your character. And you like, maybe you can load in, maybe like outside the game, you can save presets and be like, hey, this is my character.
You should be able to save presets. Yes, absolutely. That way you're coming into the game with a setup, because I think that where the real gameplay of this comes in, the real Yomi. There's already enough fighting games about thinking about like, oh, I need to predict what the enemy's going to do so that they don't hit me. There's not nearly enough prediction right now of like, what are they about to use that I want them to hit me with? You know, if I'm dodging and weaving and I see you, I'm thinking, when is Blake going to use his super, and can I get hit just by the super? I don't want to get hit by his uppercut. I don't want to get hit by his grab. I just need to be tagged by that super because that's going to shuck me. That's going to really just bring me out of my shell and make me a delicious little nutty sweet treat.
Well, let me pitch you on something just to add a little bit of spice, because I don't really play many fighting games, and the one thing I know about them is that you pick your loadout or you pick your character set and you walk into the fight and that's it. Like there are no variables outside of like interactables in the environment and stuff like that. The game doesn't necessarily I mean, of course, there are like certain games have like charge meters and things like that. So there is like this evolution during the fight, but I don't necessarily think like there's a lot of change and a lot of power changes like throughout the fight. So what about this? So you decorate your character and we introduce a gear system to our little chocolate fighting game that it's just like, hey, here are these boots that make it to where you can never be knocked on your butt. Like you are like they're really heavy and they ground you. But if the opponent does a sliding kick, they can knock pieces of your armor off and they could pick it up if they wanted to. So what if there's this fight where you're constantly knocking things off of one another, picking up new things, or like stealing things from your opponent, and then that changes the fight as
you're just kicking the shit out of each other and stealing each other's cool jacket over and over again. Yes, but again, you're made of candy.
Yes, and that also directly contributes into how edible you are at the end of the tournament, because you need to have
you want to
X
fight.
amount of
if you're getting hit, you want to be wearing clothes, but you don't want to finish the fight being all bundled up and wrapped up.
So it's like, and then, but that's where like the extra stank comes in. So like we talked about when you're designing your character, it has to have one negative aspect, like armor or decoration or something like that. Like, hey, here's the fondant hat that doesn't like it makes your special charge up.
Yeah, I think it's just layers.
Slower.
I think it's layers in general. I don't even think they're statistics. I think that they just need to be a thing that like you get hit, you can't be wearing this. You need to be hit enough to get this off by the end of the fight.
Oh, do you think like, I wonder, oh, okay, hold on. You're onto something here. So instead of like picking the thing that you can't be wearing at the when you're designing your character, what if at the beginning of the fight you are each like one of your pieces of armor is randomly selected. So it's like, hey, guess what? You need the person that's going to eat you this round hates fondant. So you got to get that fondant vest off. So that means you need to focus on getting body blows from this person. But the other person needs their licorice hat knocked off.
They're filled with almonds. They just got almonds all up in there. So they need to be grappled like 4 times.
They need to be shaken. So here's the question though. What's more interesting? Do the fighters know what needs to be knocked off on their opponent, or is it a mystery? So it's
the fighters know. On their opponent. No, the fighters have no idea what the opponent wants. So I don't, Blake. I don't know that you want to be grabbed 4 times, don't know that I want you to hit me with your super, and that's the mind games.
Yeah,
I'm trying
this
to
is
figure
like
out
actually have to watch body language to see. Oh, hey, they keep ducking every time I try grappling. Does that mean they're trying to get me to grab their head? Oh, that must be where their piece that needs to be removed is at. Let me not like hit that. So then it's like once you find out about, but the part that I'm wondering is if it's a mystery, then are you going to have a fighting game that motivates people to not fight at all? So it's like, okay, if you know right out of the gate, it's like, hey,
we might have accidentally made the world's most footsie fighting game because it's just people dodging back and forth, trying to think about like, okay, where are they leaving openings purposefully? What is it that they're trying to get?
So aggravating. So it's a fighting game. And now imagine watching this at what's that famous fighting game tournament in Vegas? It's like X something. Evo. And now imagine going to Evo and you just have a crowd of thousands and they're just watching a fighting game where everybody's where they're just trying not to hit each other.
Hey, but if you want to see this, I request that you watch I believe it was Tekken Tag Tournament 2. If you just watch some pro plays of that, it really is just like 5 minutes of people dodging towards and away from each other, hoping to get an opening. Because Tekken was like really combo based, so it was just like real footsie until somebody was able to tag another one, and then they would just unload.
Oh my gosh, that's kind of fun. I can. Okay, I think that would be interesting to watch because there's the element of like, okay, so maybe we bring that into this game. So it's like,
that's what I'm saying is that's what this game is, but it's even longer. It is 15 minutes worth of people dodging it back and forth at each other before even anybody brings their thumb to an attack button. It is just dodging and thinking and brainstorming.
So there's no combos. This game is all about like, let's just look at like a standard controller. Like 3 out of the 4 buttons are all dodge based. One is like a jump, one is a roll, one is like, a strafe, like you move backward. Then there's only one button.
I don't want to put dodge buttons on. I don't want to put dodges on the controller because again, I think it's so important that the haptic feedback of hearing people do all the clickies while they're trying to wave dash back and forth. That's important to the energy. It's important to the mindscape.
Are you talking about like the sticks, like the D sticks?
Yeah. Have you ever listened to a like professional fighting game player's controller?
But I'm imagining it's very similar to like watching somebody play Guitar Hero, but they're wearing headphones. It's just like all those little clicky clacks.
Yes, you're seeing so much.
Okay, give me a game submission.
Hey, give me a game submission. What? Where's your manners?
AJ, my lovely co-host, whose voice carries on the wind like silk, can you please give me a game submission that will make all of the audience members laugh and har and chuckle to their heart's content?
Absolutely, I can. This comes from Darius Meltdown. All the kids at my school I work at keep saying sus, and it's driving me mad. That could be a game.
I remember seeing this.
You're absolutely right. It could be a game. So here's the problem that a lot of video games have. They don't get kids. You know what I mean? Like they'll be like, oh, this is a kid and they're a little bit angsty, or this is a kid and they're a little bit anxious about things, and they look to the father figure for a thing. Yeah, like let's be honest. Like I know Atreus is a little bit of a shit, but like he's like the ideal little boy. You know what I mean?
Like in the sense of like this is the son you would want, or like
he's a son that you can communicate to. Have you ever tried to talk to a 10-year-old, Blake?
No, I try not to because
I was okay. So a couple weeks ago, I was talking with my little nephews, and my nephews were like it was a couple months ago. It was 4th of July last year. It was a while ago, but bear with me.
Time doesn't exist. Don't worry.
I was hanging out with them, and they're like 12 and I think they're like 12 and 10 or something. And we're just hanging out, and they're like, man, dude, this popcorn's bussin'. And I was like, what does that even mean? And they're like, I don't know. We heard it in a rap song. It's kind of, I think it's sus, but I'm not sure. And I'm like, what the fuck is this kid saying? I know he's trying to communicate to me. I don't get it.
So is this just basically you're trying like a translation simulator? Is that what you're getting at? You're the teacher trying to get in contact with these kids?
What if there was a video game where, like, you know how you are given, you know how in some video games you're given constant objectives from like the characters that you're walking around with? Like the character will be like, oh, could you run over to that switch and flick it for me? What if instead they're like, hey, that switcheroo's looking kind of sus. Could you go CeeLo Brim that for me? And you're like, what are you saying to me?
Oh, okay. Hold on. You're onto something here. Okay, so the backdrop to this game,
kind of a sussy dongle. Could you hit it with a Jeremiah Gutwald?
Okay.
I could certainly. What the fuck?
Let me pitch you on something.
And then they start dancing, like Fortnite dancing at you.
So, okay. This is a game about a field trip gone awry, and you are the teacher, or maybe better yet, you're the substitute teacher, so you don't know these kids.
You're Miss Frizzle's substitute teacher.
Yeah.
These kids.
Oh my god! Holy shit! You're onto something. So,
and the kids have convinced you to take them on a miraculous magical adventure. The problem is that they're all children, and they don't talk like human beings. They talk like children. No.
So you need to solve these outlandish puzzles, and like is this like a learning game, but you're like this is like a learning game but for like 40-year-old parents or like 50-year-old parents? So
no, it's not a learning game. I think it's very important that this stays a very strict like action adventure. Like this feels like an Uncharted game. The difference is that it's a full like prestige walking simulator with action moments, and you're climbing on things and you're solving puzzles. The problem is that your handler character, the character that's supposed to help you out at all times, is fucking useless because you do not understand the words that are coming out of their mouth.
Aren't you playing? You're
playing as the substitute teacher.
Okay, I was about to say, it's like, I feel like I'm sorry, I got confused. I thought you were saying we were playing as like one of the kids, and I'm like,
no. So you're the substitute teacher that is trying to go on this adventure with them.
What if I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, if this is a teacher, should the adventure take place in a location that only kids would understand? So like it's not like you're exploring some fantastic ruins or something like that, because it's like, okay, you're clearly the adult and would not know how to deal with the situation, but would be better capable of handling this as
I know how to delete that from our memory. Here's what it is. You are a TA, meaning that you're at that point of adulthood where like you're kind of a kid, but you're also kind of a child.
But you still have like 5 roommates. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm there. I live like that.
You are one of Miss Frizzle's old students. You sign on as a TA because you loved Miss Frizzle so much, and you're like, I'm going to go TA for Miss Frizzle. And then you go on a grand adventure with Miss Frizzle, but then Miss Frizzle, something goes wrong. Maybe Miss Frizzle trusts you too much and is like, oh, could you just go ahead and take these kids over to the ancient ruins?
No, dude, that's the seed of the game, is Miss Frizzle gets like lost in space-time or something, and it's your adventure to get her back.
So the thing is, like, yes, you're an adult and you should be a little bit more confident in the situation, but these children at this point are used to going on Miss Frizzle adventures, and you haven't done it for 12 years. So, like, the children are still the point of authority just because this is their normal day-to-day life, and you're trying to get back into it. You're like, I don't understand any of this anymore. I haven't been on the Magic School Bus in a decade. And the kid's like, it's fine. You just flippy flop the squiggly sklooge. And you're like, what? And like, that's easy. Any sussy baka could do it. Huh? Man, this Switch is bussin'. Is this good? Is that good or bad? You're doing a pretty bang up job over there. And you're like, I kind of get that one. I think that one's a compliment.
So it's like learning what words mean over the course of the game. So it's like each level they say something to you and you need to remember it. It's like, okay, they mentioned this one word on level 1 that you got to remember at some point during level 9. So it's like, oh,
but I think that's gonna be stuff that the players notice. They're like, they keep on using the word sussy. I know that's important.
So, okay, so what does the gameplay look like other than like, okay, so we have puzzles figured out. It's like you walk into a room, a group of kids are yelling like instructions at you, and you got to deduce what they're saying, and then you can like, oh, it's like one of them says bop it. That means like, oh, you got to hit it or whatever. You got to do this, do that. And then what is the gameplay between those puzzles? You were mentioning an action game. So it's like, is there shooting segments? Is there fighting segments? Is there...
Yeah, it's a AAA stealth action shooter game. You know how it is. There's going to be stealth segments, but then you can be found and you run around like a maniac. There's going to be action moments where you use like a cool bow and arrow. Maybe you have a cool transforming... Maybe your cool action thing is you have the magic school bus on a keychain, and so you can transform into multiple things.
Hold on,
like
AJ.
A sword or a gun or a bow and arrow.
So you were mentioning, when you and I were talking about, what makes a gritty like fighting game. We did bring up that there's the old character with the young kids, right? So that's the idea of doing an old and grizzled character who's only like 25 is
an
so
old and grizzled
22-year-old
college recent graduate.
Fucking funny to me. But the other thing you mentioned is that there has to be a scene where the gritty old character is choking somebody out. Might I suggest the Magic School Bus or one of the levels is them getting sucked into the bloodstream of somebody, and our main character has to choke out a white blood cell, because that's just so extra.
Of course we're going inside of a body at some point. It's the Magic School Bus. The 3 places I can assure you we are going: 1, inside a volcano; 2, outer space; 3, inside another person's body.
Interesting. I thought you were going to say like the Jurassic period or something. Like we go see dinosaurs.
We could also go to the Jurassic period and see some dinosaurs.
It's just all the levels from Scooby-Doo, the Cyber Chase. Let's just steal that. It's just all like the
inside
first levels,
computer,
the moon,
Jurassic period, the moon. Yeah, okay.
Feudal Japan. Yeah, all the good ones, all the good spots. All right, we're coming up on the end of the episode. We got to pick a nug. Okay.
What do we have here? What's laid out before us? We go back
fighting. Chocolate fighting game.
And then go back and help Miss Frizzle's students on a cool adventure.
And then you gave the first one. I'm going to wait till you bring it up.
And then I gave the first one, and I definitely remember what it was, of course. The Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, the gritty Super Mario RPG.
The Paper Mario RPG.
Part of me is leaning towards our chocolate fighter game because I don't think we've made anything like that. And the idea
I'm leaning towards the idea of Miss Frizzle having to be a 14-year-old, or Miss Frizzle's substitute teacher.
Okay. All right. Yeah, actually, you know what? That one might be better because we can apply a modifier to it easier, huh?
Yeah, I like that reason too. And definitely not because I want to try to Imagineer some more 14-year-old slang.
So for those that don't know, we have a Patreon that you can join up. It's $2 a month, and you can get access to our Discord, some monthly game nights, and submitting modifiers that we will apply to each week's game. The modifier this week, we were supposed to pick a new one, I think, but holidays came and went, so we're just going to use the last one. The modifier is mini games.
This one comes from Totodile, burping contest.
I was just looking at that one. I was just like, yeah, that feels like some like 14-year-olds would do.
That's too good. That's too good of a mini game that comes up a little bit too often. Maybe this game has a little bit of like a It Takes Two. It Takes Two. What was the game before It Takes Two? A Way Out. Maybe this has a little bit of like a Way Out vibe where like the game will go into these big sections where there's just way too many mini games all at once, and each mini game is with a different child.
Honestly, I feel like that happens in It Takes Two more than A Way Out, because A Way Out, it's like, hey, here's a little mini game.
But in It Takes Two, it makes sense, right? Like in It Takes Two, we're going on our little adventure, and then there's a cute little mini game off to the side because we're in a play place. In A Way Out, it's shit like we're breaking and entering into somebody's home, and we can go play on the seesaw, and we can go play some music, and we can play darts.
Okay.
At any moment, the homeowner could come back, and that's what makes it really weird. And I want to do stuff like that. I want it to be like for the sense of the drama of the story, it would not make any sense for us to stop and do a burping contest, but there it is.
So what if
Derek really wants to do that burping contest? Come on, he's got some Mentos. He's working on a Mento Coca-Cola strat.
So let's do this. I think this is a really good way to utilize these kids and to integrate them into the core like narrative of it. So when you
way to utilize a child.
So in between like all of the big puzzles or all of the big action moments, there will be these open areas. Like you find yourself, hey, we're just chilling out in the brain right now, and there's a bunch of kids standing by doing their own thing. You can walk
I think it's in the middle of moments. I think like you'll hit a plot point where somebody's like, oh no, the body we're in is having a heart attack, and if they die, we're going to die inside with it. And you're like, oh no. And then you turn around and there's Derek and
press A to
Susie.
Burp contest.
Yeah. And there he is. He's like, come on, try this.
And there's the only reason other than like it would be super fun to just do a burping contest with 14-year-olds. If you win against them, they will give you hints and explanations to what words mean. They will have that conversation that you had with your little nephew of like, I heard it in a song once, I think it means this, that's why I use it. So it's just like you just get little hints that you can then apply to like the puzzle sections, or like maybe unlock a little story moment where you get to connect with this kid, or it's like they'll explain to you their backstory or something like that. Like after beating the burp kid like 5 times in burp contests, they'll give you a little story nugget. Like what's it called? Like Remnant from the Ashes. Like after you would buy certain things, you would unlock like little conversations with like the merchant, and they were always super short, like super simple, but they were like really, it opened up the world in interesting ways, and I'm wondering if we can do that with these kids. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, we can. And I love that. And it's going to make us grow closer to all of the children. Do you have a mini game for one of the other kids?
Okay. I think it would be super funny. What's that big game right now? It's Wordle, right?
A Wordle, yeah.
So it would be so funny to see that there's one kid always playing a phone game, and you have to then like install that game on your phone and then beat them. So it's just like, hey, look at my high score versus like, hey, this is my high score. So you're just comparing high scores every now and again. I think it would just be so funny. So like some sort of like, just like Wordle, or like what's that other game where it was like boxes where you're trying to like, there's X amount of boxes on the screen and you need to combine all of the ones of the same color, or it's like it's Bejeweled or something.
Or the number one, 4112 or whatever it was called.
Yeah, 4112. So it's like, oh, how close did you get? Oh, I got this close. It's like, oh, you beat my number. So it's like it would just be just some like little phone game that you can then connect with the kid on. And maybe the arc of that is like you told them, hey, no phones while we're trying to go save Miss Frizzle, and then you understand it's like, oh, maybe they like being on their phone because they got anxiety or something. And I think that'd just be like a cute little note or something.
I love it. Blake, we need a name for this.
I
suggest the name Frizzled.
Frizzled. Oh, Frazzled? Get Frizzled?
Get Frizzled?
No, that one's so dumb. Don't do that
one. Stupid.
Is it funny? No. Do you think it'd be good?
Get Frizzled.
Well, because that's like what the kids say. It's like, get frizzled, man. Like, but it's not. But that's like a compliment.
Damn, we got frizzled.
Oh, damn, we got frizzled. And that just implies that you got sucked away to like a crazy adventure. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh no, we're getting frizzled. Oh, we got frizzled. Frizzled got frizzled, you know? So
Go get frizzled.
Get frizzled. A Magic School
Yes.
Bus Adventure.
Yes, absolutely. Here it is. That's the name of the game. Get frizzled.
All right, let's go to patch notes.
Let's go to patch notes.
All right, what do you want to bring up?
I have a fun game for patch notes this time.
Okay.
You do all of the patch notes, and I'm going to live read, or like live stream myself going through a Wordle today, right now.
Okay.
Have you played Wordle, right?
No, I haven't played Wordle. I don't know anything about Wordle.
Oh, okay. Then maybe it'd be funnier if we do it the other way around. If I do all the patch notes as slow as I can, and you try to bust out a Wordle.
Is it going to take that long? Because I also want to. I need to jet.
No, I can. You know what? I can do it. I'll do the Wordle run, and you do the patch notes. Okay.
Okay.
On the count of 3.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. I'm starting off with
Hello,
the word
everybody,
golf.
and welcome to
Golf
patch notes.
doesn't have enough letters. I'm stupid. Sorry.
What? Okay.
I'm trying tears.
Make
We're
sure
trying
to make
tears
sure
now?
AJ and I we need to survive, and we survive by the lifeblood given to us by iTunes reviews, positive or negative. It doesn't matter. Leave your true opinions. We'd love to hear them.
R is correct. The E is in the wrong spot. So I'm gonna try the word.
Hearing Wordle out of context is very bizarre because one, I've never played Wordle, and AJ was like, "Hey, I want to do this Wordle bit," and I don't know if it's funny.
I'm trying the word. Let's go with the G word.
Outside that, we hope you enjoyed this episode and have a safe week.
Oh, damn, I'm not good at this game at all. Man, you are going through the patch notes pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah, because, dude, we mentioned, 2 things in our patch notes. That's what I was asking. He was like, how long does a game of Wordle take? This is stupid. This is dumb. All right, I have been one of your hosts, Blake Rea, and I've been your other host, AJ Hart.
Blake, you're missing some of the patch notes for the record.
I'm blanking. What's up?
Yeah, that's fine. That's what's giving me the time to finish the Wordle. I'm glad that you're blanking. Fuck, I'm trying to think of another word. Any other word. It's hard to think about words while I'm doing a podcast.
The music at the beginning and the end of the episode is Cheap Shot by Anamaguchi, an excellent song from an excellent game. I have been your host, AJ Hart, and I've been your other host, Blake Rea. And these are cool games that should not be made. Oh man, I nailed it. I nailed that shit.